Cockpit review. Today's video is brought to you by GameGlass. GameGlass allows you to take control of your ship from a tablet or phone. Not only that, but you also get on-screen information about your ship, your targets, and the world around you. So gone are the days where you have no more room for your key bindings, or you have to alt-tab out of the game to look up market data. On top of that, GameGlass also works with Star Citizens, so follow the link in the video description and try GameGlass for free. If you like it and want more shards and features, you can buy them individually, or you can subscribe to GlassPass. Use offer code DTEA on checkout and get 5% off your first purchase. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Cockpit review. Just as last time, I'm going to try to make them a little bit more themed, and this time I want to show the console crowd a little bit more love. A lot of the reviews that I do is often around PC setups, so today we're going to be looking at console and living room setups. So for all you guys playing on console, this one goes out to you. So the first one we're going to look at comes to us from Commander Hobbymus. He sends me an email where he said, saw my cockpit reviews on YouTube and thought, why not send my setup? Thank you for doing so. This is his setup, and if I've ever seen a gaming room, this is it. This is what a gaming room should look like. If we just take a quick look at what we're dealing with. First of all, I love the wallpaper. Space-themed wallpaper, love it. Games over Muck. Here we can see he's playing on Xbox, Master Chief, little like head there. I would assume that's the subwoofer that goes with the speakers that we could see out here on either side. Caps from probably some sport teams that I'm not familiar with. Love the old style clock there. Looks like something from an old trade station. Cloud Alpha headset. Nintendo, is that, what's that thing called? Yushio, the little like dinosaur thing from Mario. An egg from that. Der Herr der Ring. So he's probably from Germany. This is Lord of the Rings in Germany, I guess. We have more controllers. We have Xbox games lined up down here. We have, can't really see where that is from here. Another controller down here. And, no, hold on, what's that? Is that the subwoofer? What is that then? Is that just center speaker? Maybe that's just the center speaker. I don't know. And then, of course, it's a little overexposed, but we can then see he has... This is actually interesting. I've never seen people put light on the front of it. Normally, when you see people put light, they do, like I've done, they put it on the back to kind of give it a back glow, but he's decided to put it here on the front. And if we swap over to the next picture, we can see there is quite a bit of light going on here. First of all, we have that blue LED strip there around, giving some accent lighting to little like shells here itself. Then, of course, we have the egg in here that lights up. And I don't know, he has something in there that lights up red. I'm not sure what it is. It looks like it comes from behind whatever this is. Oh, here's a picture where we get a little better look at that thing. That looks like an amplifier. The main feature of the room, probably the TV here in the center. We can see that he's watching. That is the first cockpit review. I've had this one for quite a while, but I just, never really done a dedicated console review. So that's why I first got around to bringing it in now. Thanks a lot for sending that in. So the next setup here comes to us from Commander Basinger Smith. You might first think that doesn't look much like a console setup, but it actually is. He writes in his email that he plays on PlayStation. Due to his family situation, he needed something that he could unfold and put away. We've seen these setups before where people make these like completely foldable thing that can be moved into like basically no space at all. And this is one of those situations. We can see he does have a desk here where he has a laptop. We can see that over here on the side. He writes in the email that he calls it a next level gaming flight rig. So I assume this is a product on its own that you can get. Don't know. Next level flight gaming rig. Look it up if you're interested. And we can see here that we have a T-Flight 4 HOTAS, which of course worked with the PlayStation. We have a keyboard here. We have a tablet here. We're going to get a view from the other side as well. The throttle down here mounted here on the side. And there's obviously a plate over here that is intended you can mount a joystick on if you're using it as a flight rig. We can even see here that the legs here are adjustable. There's a plate here with plenty of mounting options for pedals if you want to use it for that. And then we have the joystick itself mounted up here. Funny that he's mounted it up there. I would think that is quite tall, but now that I think about it, actually, I'm probably having it at the same height because I'm just putting my joystick on my desk. But again, you have the difference in height from the throttle and the joystick. I think it would be okay. Every time I do these, I want to go and do something crazy and do builds like a custom something rig. Every time I never really find a solution that I'm happy with. He has a Sony tablet over here, which he writes that he uses for like all the usual stuff, Finara, EDSM, you know, your third-party tools which you're going to need. I would actually assume, I don't think he writes it specifically, but I don't see a mouse. I would assume that, no, right, he's playing on PlayStation, of course. I was just thinking he has a keyboard, he must have a mouse as well, but obviously not. He can use the joystick for all his interactions, and then the keyboard is just there to get access to comms if you want to type to people, or galaxy maps, those kind of things. I think he has some pictures of this folded away as well. Yeah, there we go. So you can see how the whole thing, these whole legs here, they fold up. The tablet, everything just stays attached to it, and that will easily fit in a corner somewhere. Put it in like a closet or something. Like, get that out of the way when you don't need it. So I think a setup like this is perfect for like a family living room setup where you can't have a permanent thing that's gonna take up half the living room, but you still want to have something that adds a little bit of immersion. So having something like this, a little like stand here where you can mount everything on, everything's there. And I would assume you would even be able to mount like a USB hub or whatever like interface these things use. I assume USB of some sort. Plug it all there, so you just have one cable and can send that over to whatever like console you're playing on. And we get a quick picture here in the dark. It actually looks like the way he has it seated, that he has the joystick center mounted, and that makes more sense now with the difference in height. Because I think if I have the throttle lower than the joystick, I wouldn't want to have the joystick center mounted. I feel like that's gonna feel more natural when you have it down there, rather than with the same height. I want to have them left and right to kind of keep them in line with my shoulders. And what is he out? So he's out in the Anaconda, and we can't really see anything specific. But the fact that he's running EDSM, I'm gonna make a guess and say he's probably out exploring. So happy flying out there in the black. Thanks a lot for sending in your cockpit. The next setup here is from Commander Toby. He sent this to me over on Twitter. It's just a single picture, so this is all I have, but there's still quite a lot that we can look at. First of all, either he is Italian or he likes Italian racing cars or sports cars. I don't know. But we have what do you write here? He writes here that it's a Samsung 55-inch 4K/8K TV. 4/8K, I don't know. High resolution at the very least. But again, we can't really discern much. That looks like a Crate Phantom, right? Because it has a single throttle or single thruster array back here. Whereas if it looks like a Crate at least. And if it was the Crate Mark II, it would have them split out. So I think that's a Phantom. One of the things I think is cool is that he's backlit the TV. This is not something we see that often. But I've been trying it once or twice, and it adds a ton of immersion with a game like Elite. Because you know that if you're in a system, if you have a system with a blue star, everything's blue. Your cockpit is blue, everything is just blue. And if you go into like a very red system, well, colors change. Even inside your cockpit, the colors of the planet change. And what you can do with these setups I've seen is you can make them mimic the colors, like the average colors on the screen. So you can kind of have the whole like glow, the feel of the system kind of like spill out to the rest of the room. So if you jump into a neutron star, for instance, your whole back wall behind you and you play in the dark like this, the whole room is just flooded in blue light. Whereas if you jump into like an M or K class star, well, the whole room becomes like with a reddish color. I think that's really cool, and backlit TVs are always, and it looks really, really good. And it also, like, if you dim it down a bit, it can also be pretty good doing movies and can add a little bit extra immersion to kind of pull it outside the screen. I've been looking at that thing there, and I can't decide what it is. I was thinking it might be like a speaker of some sort, but I'm not really sure because I don't see anything in the other side, but maybe it's hidden behind it. We just can't see it because of the angle. I don't know. But we can see here, of course, he's playing on Xbox, and we have the controller here and a footrest. If you haven't tried yet, regardless of whether you play with a console or if you play on PC, having something to put your feet up on when you play is amazing. I used to have like my old chair. I took off the armrest in the back and put it all the way down and used it as a backrest until the bunnies figured out that it was a good place to take a nap, which is fine. until they then later figured out that it was also really, really funny to like bite holes in the cushion of the chair and then take all the foam inside and then make it into a million pieces and spread it out everywhere. So I'm looking for alternatives. Really nice setup, nice, simple, and I like the backlight. Thanks a lot for sending that in as well. The next setup here comes to us from Commander Tinu 888. And before you head down to the comment section and say, Astro, that's not a console setup, you're absolutely right. There is a PC standing over here in the corner. But this setup could just as well has been a console setup, because the way it's set up, the way it's built, it's a living room setup. And as you will see in a second, there's actually quite a few things here that you can maybe take away if you consider doing something else to upgrade your living room cockpit of your own. He just sends very simple email, says, this is my cockpit, comfy on the couch with a 68-inch 4K screen. Very nice. You can see he's flying his Corvette here. Not familiar where that station is located, but he's clearly done something he shouldn't, being hostile in the system. We can see his HOTAS here. This is the Thrustmaster. I think is that a 1600M thing? I can't remember the model number. Does it say? No, it should say Thrustmaster there. But of course, if you were playing on console, you could use the T-Flight we saw before, or one of the ones that works for Xbox, or whichever HOTAS you want to use. You could place that here. And just as before, he has a Logitech keyboard that you can use here for inputting your system names and those kind of things. Now we can see what he's done. He's taking what looks like a shelf, basically just like any shelf from whatever, like Home Depot, hardware store, whatever, like a piece of wood. And then he got these cushions. Now, I've been looking at these, and I don't think they are something that comes with the couch, because they are slightly different in texture, but they're close enough that they don't stand out like a sore thumb. So these would have what I would consider like wife approval factor. That, I mean, if you take away the wooden board, you could easily keep these around without them standing out like a sore thumb. And a lot of these different HOTASes will have mounting options. So even if you wanted to, you could mount the HOTAS and the keyboard to the actual wooden board, have it there so it's like a fixed thing. You can see here she's running a USB hub in here. It looks like, yeah, it's probably a USB hub in there. So he only has the one cable he needs to run, and all that. You can mount all that to the board if you want to. So you just take the whole board, like plop it down. I don't know where he's getting these cushions though. These are quite neat. It almost looks like those are designed to actually put something on top if you want to sit with a laptop. And then of course he has his coffee mug and a wireless mouse. Again, this could just as well have been wired, since he already has a USB hub here already. But he's gone for a wireless setup, which will work just fine. And we can actually see here he even does have a PlayStation controller lying around here as well. So I'm guessing probably for SRV driving. Most cases when you see people having both a HOTAS and a controller lying around, it's for SRV driving. So thanks a lot for sending this one in as well. Those were the cockpits I picked out for you today. As always, if you want your own cockpit featured, you are more than welcome to send them to me. You just send me an email at downtoearthastronomy@gmail.com. It will be in the description, so you can go and pick it up from there. I can't promise you if they'll be included or when they will be. I can't promise you when or if at all I will be able to include them. I get a lot of cockpits in, and I get them in faster than I can make the videos, so I am stockpiling them at the moment. But I'll try to get these videos pushed out, because I know you guys love them. I love to make these videos, and it's nice to share each other's cockpits, to give each other ideas to upgrade your home setup. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give a like, subscribe, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.